I have been waiting to review this channel. Thank you, Carlos, for being patient. We're going to review Rolling with Carlos, his YouTube channel, in now what is 33 free channel reviews that we have lined up. We've already done 3. This is number 4. And if you want to participate in a free channel review, it can be private or public, and maybe a one-on-one as well. You can check the link in the bio. We're going to get to you as soon as possible. But Carlos, man, thank you for filling out the form. Thank you for your interest in the channel. And man, I am so excited to do this one because this is my niche. This is my lane. I got many lanes, man, but most of my YouTube success has come from talking sports. So this is fantastic. First of all, banner is fantastic. Right in the middle, like I said, very legible. You guys can see, I don't know if you know this, but I tell you this all the time. There are 3 different ways your YouTube videos are consumed. Mostly it is a digital media, like a cell phone. Then you have things like a laptop, and then you have TV. Yes, believe it or not, some people watch YouTube on your TV. I'm sure you and I have both done it. On a cell phone, if you look on your cell phone, Carlos has this right lined up, as the majority of you do, with this is what you would see on a cell phone. It would cut off here and it would cut off here. So I'm assuming that Carlos has this right in the area that you would see. So if you went to your cell phone, this is what you would see. You wouldn't see any of the sides. If you look at it on a PC, these sides are available. And here's something else. If you see this on a TV, if you went to his television, you would see a bigger banner on a TV. Sometimes I even put stuff hidden at the top. So if somebody looks at this on the television, they'll see something, a hidden message. Now, obviously, he has cerebral palsy. He puts it right in the description. The work ethic of this individual is fantastic. There are so many things that I like about this, and I've only got one real recommendation. It's real one thing. When you do, Carlos, I know this, man, it is very difficult to do sports about multiple niches. You know what I'm saying? Like I look at sports as a triple niche. So you have the sport itself, that's one. Then you have the team so you have sports is one, meaning it's general sports. It could be cricket, it could be football, it could be basketball, baseball, hockey. You see where I'm going here? Sports is general. Then you have what sport it is. So in my case, it would be football, right? So that's a double niche. And then the triple niche comes, I talk about a very specific team. The reason that I know and I figured that out is because of my kind of dabble into the sports world. If you talk about multiple teams, it appeals to a wider audience, but it also could be where a person doesn't want to know about the Florida Gators basketball team, but they want to know about the Florida Gators football team. Now, the thing about college teams is most of the teams, if I'm not mistaken, they all have the same name. So that's something that could be working in your favor. But Carlos, man, you got 114 videos with 1,320 plus subscribers. Fantastic. I'm looking at your thumbnails and I love them. I love them. But I can't really see what they're doing until we get that one-on-one and we look into your analytical data. So we're going to go by your most popular one. This was 3 months ago, so that was probably the end of the college season, and this one hit. Everything about this one appealed to a wide audience. Now, I clicked on this video and I watched it, and there was a lot of things going on in the video, and I think that can help contribute to making it your highest viewed video. So you want to dive into the analytics and see where were people watching the longest at? How many people were tuning in after 10 and 30 seconds? But I can see that you are on the right path, man. I really don't have any critiques about the content, right? Because I don't know what it's like to even deal with what you're dealing with. So I can't suggest that you put out more videos. I'm not going to put that on you. What you're doing is working. It really is. Now, if I had to say something, I would say, okay, you want to talk about, since most of your content seems to be about college teams, specifically the Florida Gators, you probably would want to stay away from the Miami Heat and the Miami Dolphins. You get what I'm saying? Now, I would not want to put this pressure on you, but if you had it in you, you don't have to do this. Nobody has to do this. But you got to remember that YouTube is about algorithm. Algorithm is about audience. And if you, like I said in the previous channel reviews, and everybody watching this, take note, it is okay and it is possible to have success talking about multiple things. There are people that talk about vlogging, then they'll do this and that. But I want you to pay attention to the numbers of people. If you watch a channel and that channel talks about lifestyle, and then they do a movie review, that movie review probably won't resonate with the audience that they created. So what I would do is I would kind of, and again, all of this is about guidance and about what you can handle. If you want to have multiple different sports in your content, then you can do that. But you got to keep in mind about what I mentioned about niching down. Now, one advantage that you have is, like I said, I believe all college teams. So you got the Florida Gators, and it could be any team. It could be any one of those. It could be basketball. It could be hockey. I know the Michigan Wolverines they're the Wolverines throughout the board. Their hockey team, their football team, their basketball team. So that is an advantage that you have. So you could, what you could do is still talk about the Florida Gators, and just limit it to them, where it's about their basketball team, it's about their football team, hockey, and so on. Now, you still will have diverse crowds. You might make a hockey video, but your football people don't care about that. And here's another thing too, is people want to know what they're going to get from your channel. Keep in mind that people are going to watch continuously. They're going to watch and never subscribe, right? But they're going to continue to watch you. They want to come back. And if you do multiple different content, then that's going to give them less of a reason to come back. But this is fantastic, man. I think your thumbnails are off the hook. I really do. What I would probably do is, if you are going to, like, I don't want to say don't put yourself in your thumbnails, but people are probably watching because they are interested in the Florida Gators. You understand what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with putting yourself in your thumbnails, but I think that you should probably just kind of figure out what kind of content you want to make. All right. But there is a lot of potential with this channel. I love this channel. Sports, this is my thing. So I see what you're doing here. Even your shorts, man, you are doing your thing. Now, if we look at the amount of content that you make, it looks like you try to make maybe a video every other day. Now, what I would do, Carlos, this is just a trick that I use for my channel, okay, is I don't know what it's like to talk about college, because I don't talk about college. But what I do in my other sports channels is try to stay. One thing about sports are always relevant, but they trend at different times. So, for instance, we'll use the NFL. The NFL and the ladies are like, what is he talking about? Most of them, right? But just stay with us. The NFL is all year round. It's something to talk about all year round, but there's less times to talk about certain things. So we have the NFL draft coming up, and that's going to be when it starts to peak a little more. Then you have free agency, which happened in March. Then you have this lull period where nothing's going on, and then you have the start of the NFL season. So it's always relevant, but it's trendy at different times. So what I would do is I would stay trendy on these subjects. I would try to balance trending topics with topics that your audience wants to see and what you want to talk about. It doesn't seem like you do documentary style content. If you did documentary style sports content, that could be evergreen, where it could always be a place. But you probably stay more on the news cycle, very similar to what I do. So what I would do is when you're planning to make a video, if you didn't write out and you don't do these things in the head ahead of time, I would try to stay as trendy as possible. So look up whatever you can talk about that is most recent about each particular team you're going to talk about. But I like what you're doing, man. I really do. I like the fact that you are, and I think there's potential because these college teams share the same name. As far as your titles are concerned, I think that I would always use the team that you're talking about. So since every team is Florida Gators, I would make sure that Florida Gators is in every video that you make about the Florida Gators. What I realize is that the Lions has one term. Detroit Lions takes on a whole new meaning, right? So you could have Gators that could be talking about a number of things, but Florida Gators, that's more than likely going to send you to the college teams. But Carlos, man, you are fantastic. I love all of this stuff. What I would do, like I said, if I'm being nitpicky here, which is hard to do, then I would probably just look at your thumbnails. Look at your thumbnails, see which ones resonate. And what I usually do is I use the same thumbnail all the time. One that I found that works for my audience, I use it multiple times. But I do have a thumbnail for breaking news. I have a thumbnail for regular news. I have a thumbnail for my live streams. I have a thumbnail for my post-game shows. So I have about 5 or 6 different thumbnails, but I use them repeatedly based on what I'm talking about. But these are fantastic, bro. They're fantastic. And I think what could be also leading to maybe some algorithm confusion is if you look down here, you have some videos where you don't talk about sports necessarily. Right here, like this looks like it was your first video, and these two, and then you made a pivot somewhere into sports. So, I mean, what I would do is if you could maybe, I don't want to put more work on you, right? But it's important that you know your audience. So before you make a decision about any content that you would make, or whether you would pivot or put content over here, over there, or private it, unlist it, do some research, see what your audience is, see what they want to see, and go from there. All right. But I think, man, that you are fantastic. I think this is fantastic. The thumbnails are fire. Just again, very nitpicky stuff. Use Florida Gators in anything. Try to stay as trendy as possible. So you want to stay up to date, because you know from being a sports fan that what is here today, I say yesterday's price ain't today's price. Shout out to Versus. What happens today in the sports world could be irrelevant tomorrow, right? So try to stay as trendy as possible when you're making this content. What's the latest thing? Because you have multiple creators that are competing with you, and you're competing with them. And if they drop this news, trust me, I know, then it's old news. You understand what I'm saying? So you're doing a fantastic job, man. Keep up the good work. I applaud you for doing this, letting your passion shine through even with the circumstances that you have to deal with. All right, Carlos, we got a one-on-one. You requested a one-on-one. Stay consistent. Try to get that video out every other day if you can, because what's going to happen is your audience is going to look for your video every other day, minimum. I make multiple videos a day because I don't edit. Everything is off the dome, and I know that these videos need to be out in quick succession. So I will make, and when I disappear, my fan base is like, where's this guy at? I will have people DM me, checking on me, all of that type of stuff. So Carlos, keep up the good work, man. Phenomenal job. You started this thing, what, 8 months ago? 8 months ago. And that video to subscriber ratio is fantastic. It really is. That means that you're getting at least 1 subscriber every video. And that's what we ultimately want to do. We want to grow. But we got the one-on-one that we'll schedule, man, and keep up the good work. Keep doing your thing, man. So anyway, if you want to know another channel review, click on this link right here, and I'll see you next time. Keep it up, Carlos.